He was surrounded. No escape, no support, no one on radar. And then, out of nowhere, a silver jet screamed out of the clouds. But this wasn't just any aircraft. It was the one they buried 12 years ago. Who is she? Why did she return? And why disappear again? Let's find out together in today's story on Life Moral Tales. 29,000 feet above the South Pacific. The stars were missing tonight. No moon, no shadows, just cold wind slicing past the canopy, and a cockpit filled with red alerts and rising dread. Lieutenant Alex Monroe, age 27, checked his instruments again. Nothing made sense. His F-22 Raptor, one of the most advanced fighters in the U.S. arsenal, was now blind. Radar jamming. Targeting disabled. Comm static. He flicked the comm switch again. Command, this is Reaper 2-1. I've lost telemetry and I've got multiple bogies closing fast. Requesting support. Repeat, requesting immediate support. Nothing. Then the tone hit. That soul-ripping beep. Lock-on detected. Alex's pulse spiked. He scanned the sky. Shadows moved, but not randomly. This wasn't chaos. It was coordinated. He muttered, "How the hell did they get behind me?" A formation of 6, maybe 7, jets now closed in from multiple vectors, sleek, silent, unmarked. They moved with the precision of AI, but the menace of a kill squad. No insignia, no voice, just heat signatures and death. The trap had been perfect. They waited until he passed the invisible line, then collapsed the sky around him. A circle kill box tactic, high-end military precision, and he never saw it coming. His Raptor jerked left. He pulled a barrel roll, dropped chaff, reversed thrusters. None of it worked. Every maneuver was shadowed instantly. They knew his aircraft's capabilities, maybe better than he did. "They're toying with me." A missile warning shrieked. He flared again, then dropped altitude fast. It bought him seconds. Nothing more. In the corner of his display, one word blinked in blood-red font. Escape. Not possible. He gritted his teeth, voice cracking. "Command anyone. I don't care who. I need cover. I need..." He didn't finish the sentence, because something just tore a hole in the night sky. It was fast. Too fast for radar. Just a silver blur falling from the upper atmosphere in a controlled vertical drop. A new contact appeared, but only for a blink. No call sign, no data, no electronic signature. Then it came into view, a jet, sleeker than anything he'd ever seen. Its wings were sharp, like folded steel. Its tail bore a symbol scorched from time, a phoenix, wings ablaze in a circular arc. Its motion wasn't fast. It was deliberate. The kind of controlled power that said, "I've been here before." The unknown jet surged into the kill box, flying through the enemy formation without flinching. Half the enemy jets scattered. What the hell? Alex's HUD flickered. And then, a voice, calm, female, unfazed. "Reaper 2-1, stay tight. I'll handle this." Alex blinked. Who the hell are you?" She didn't answer, but her jet moved like liquid fire, cutting across the kill box, forcing enemies to recalculate paths. They started chasing her instead, one by one. She was bait, willingly, and she was winning. Alex watched in disbelief as the mystery pilot performed an inverted corkscrew at Mach 1.9, drawing one enemy into a sharp dive before it vanished in a burst of smoke. The rest hesitated. That was all she needed. With 3 sharp moves, none of which he'd ever seen in any training manual, she broke the formation in half. His radar pinged. The trap was cracked open, and through it, her voice came again, clearer this time. "Still with me, Lieutenant?" Alex nodded, even though she couldn't see. "Then follow my lead." He throttled up. The sky was no longer a prison. It had become a battlefield, and right now, she was winning it for both of them. 29,000 feet. 4 minutes earlier, Lieutenant Alex Monroe had flown hundreds of sorties. He'd dodged missiles, flown through sandstorms, survived a bird strike at 12,000 feet, but he'd never felt this alone. No wingman. No support, no radar, just a growing sense that someone or something was herding him like prey. He toggled the defensive suite, dumping another spread of chaff. No response. The chaff floated uselessly into the black sky. Whatever was tracking him, it wasn't locked by heat or radar. It was anticipating. His instincts screamed louder than his cockpit alarms. Command, this is Reaper 2-1. Still zero contact. I have no visibility on enemy IFF. Requesting rules of engagement. Do I fire? More static, then silence. His blood ran cold. This wasn't a skirmish. This was a trap. 2:07 a.m. He caught a glimpse, just a flicker, at his 6 o'clock. A black triangle shape, gliding silently behind him, matching speed. No exhaust signature, no external loadout. Then another, left flank. Then 3 more. Alex gasped. They were everywhere. 7 jets now surrounded him in an encirclement maneuver he'd only seen in Black-class training modules. Crow Halo, a kill formation used by elite drone swarms or foreign AI-enhanced squadrons. 1 central target. 7 ghosts circling like buzzards. Never too close, never too far. They're studying me, Alex muttered, waiting for mistakes. He yanked hard left, pitching down into a dive. They followed. He twisted right, rolled, boosted. They followed. No countermeasures broke their pattern. His brain flipped through tactics, none applied. These weren't typical aggressors. Their movements were too smooth. They weren't chasing, they were choreographing. "You sons of," he whispered. The formation tightens. Inside the kill box, every move he made created a ripple. They wanted him to panic, to break rhythm, to bleed speed. Alex tried a classic scissor break, tight banking turns to bait overcorrection, but the jets mirrored him perfectly. The box shrunk by half. From above, it must have looked like a predator dance. 1 jet flailing at the center, the others orbiting like hawks in formation. 1 finally surged forward, flashing a sharp, aggressive nosedive. Alex flared. It was a feint. The others moved in. "They're flushing me, hurting me down." And then the beep came again. M-lock, active. He was locked. The console lit up like a Christmas tree. 1 missile fired, then another. Not like this. He dropped fast. 10,000 feet lost in 10 seconds. Clouds ripped past him, his head pressed back into the seat, blood pooled in his vision. Angle too steep, the system screamed. He cut throttle, leveled out, gasped. Still alive. Barely. His HUD was fried. The glass showed more static than data. He flew blind, guided by gut. 1 of the enemies zipped overhead, trailing a vertical contrail. They were repositioning, resetting the box. There would be no second escape. He could feel it. The moment before the end, his fingers tightened on the control stick. He ran 1 more systems check. Weapons, drained. Flares, gone. Countermeasures, offline. Throttle, 60%. Altitude, dropping. Everything in him said eject. But something deeper held him there. And then, he saw it. A flash of silver above the cloud layer. Far too fast to be a missile. Far too intentional. The sky cracked open. The enemy jets paused. So did he. What the hell is that? And then, boom! The sonic boom was like thunder breaking the world. And everything changed. The sky had exploded. Not in fire, but in sound. A sonic boom thundered across the airspace, slicing clean through the tension that gripped Lieutenant Alex Monroe like a vice. His head snapped up. Every aircraft, hostile and otherwise, paused for a fraction of a second. It was just long enough for him to blink. And then he saw her. A silver streak tore through the night at a velocity no one should be flying at in atmosphere. It wasn't just fast, it was impossible. The air around the craft shimmered from sheer heat and pressure. It wasn't even on radar yet. His HUD stayed empty. The jet pitched violently downward from above cloud level. Controlled, precise, predatory. It came in inverted. Not just flying upside down, diving upside down. Alex's eyes widened. He instinctively pulled a hard bank to stay clear of the trajectory. The silver jet plunged right through the enemy formation. Visual contact, phantom jet. The aircraft leveled out at a brutally low altitude, then pulled a wide arc up and behind the cluster of hostiles. It wasn't just a maneuver, it was a signature. The tail bore no serial, no flag. Just one symbol, a blackened phoenix with wings of silver fire. No military unit had that. But old pilots whispered about it. Phantom 04, Shadow 09, the Ghost Guardian. All code names for the same legend, a test pilot turned black ops asset. One of the best to ever fly, and gone for over a decade. Some said she died in a mission gone wrong. Others claimed she defected, but no one ever proved a thing. Until now. The voice? Alex's radio clicked. Reaper 2-1, I'll be your shadow tonight. It was a woman's voice. American, calm, experienced. The kind of voice that didn't ask for permission. It gave orders. Who are you? Alex croaked. Silence. Then, softly, stay on me and don't die. She banked hard, climbed into a vertical spiral, and vanished through the clouds. Alex hesitated, then followed. Breaking the box. The enemy jets weren't prepared for this. They reacted like a hive under threat, breaking formation to pursue the newcomer. But she was already out of reach. One peeled off and tried to get behind her. Mistake. She dove, rolled underneath him, and executed a reverse split S so tight the enemy pilot overshot, then overcorrected and spiraled out of control. A flash of light marked the fall. 5 left. The silver jet rolled again. This time horizontally, dragging flares in a pattern that mimicked engine signatures. 2 enemy fighters bit. They split to flank her. She vanished. No radar ping, no IR signature. Just gone. Alex nearly gasped. And then he saw it, a glint beneath them. She had dropped altitude and looped around in a blind loop spiral, staying underneath their tracking cones. She rose between them like a specter, missiles locked. Boom. 1 gone, the other clipped and spinning, 3 left. Shadow maneuvers. Now she flew beside Alex. Her formation was tight, elegant, controlled. Alex shouted, "What are you?" Her reply, "I'm what they forgot existed." 2 bogies returned for a head-on intercept. She didn't flinch. Instead, she climbed directly into them, inverted again. At the last moment, she cut all thrust, dropping like deadweight, while the hostiles screamed past. Alex watched her restart engines mid-fall and kick into a snapback Cobra maneuver, arching her nose, violently back, flipping the entire jet and locking a rear shot. Another hostile destroyed. A message in silence. The last enemy jet retreated. Not out of fear. Out of confusion. This wasn't just superior flying, this was psychological warfare. She flew like a ghost with a grudge, turning their advantages into liabilities. Alex's instruments crackled. All jamming ceased. He was back online. Every threat vanished from his map. Only 1 aircraft remained in proximity. Her. And then, gone. She slowed, turned toward him, and flew in perfect parallel. He looked over, trying to see the pilot, but the canopy was black. No light, no reflection. Then her voice, one last time. "You're clear, Lieutenant. Run home." Wait, who? But the transmission ended. She climbed straight into the clouds. Within seconds, she was gone. No blip. No trace. Just the memory of a woman who flew like time owed her something. 2:16 a.m. Altitude, 26,000 feet. The trap was broken, but the battle wasn't over. 4 hostile jets remained. They'd recalibrated, faster this time, adjusting for the unknown threat. Now they weren't just targeting Lieutenant Monroe, they were targeting her. The ghost. The phantom pilot. And she welcomed it. Dance of fire. She didn't wait for them to act. She pulled the F-34 into a sudden barrel roll at Mach 1.8, then pitched straight upward in a steep climb. The enemy jets followed, but not because they wanted to, because they had to. She was baiting them, luring them upward, into thinner air where engines screamed louder and every mistake cost altitude. Alex Monroe, flying parallel below, could barely keep up. He saw the F-34 roll inverted and dive, but not back down toward Earth. She was diving sideways, a knife-edge drift, slicing through a storm cell like it was drawn on paper. The enemy fired. She vanished. The blind spot kill. 2 enemy jets banked wide to trap her on the edge of cloud cover. Big mistake. From inside the storm, lightning briefly illuminated the silhouette of the F-34. For a heartbeat, Alex saw it. Wings extended like daggers, nose pointed behind her flight path. She'd reversed direction inside the cloud. How? The enemy never saw it coming. She re-emerged upside down, flying backward, throttling just enough to remain airborne, matching their vector. She fired. One exploded instantly, the other went into a tailspin and vanished beneath the clouds. 2 left. The trick shot. They adapted fast. The last 2 jets coordinated, one trailing, one above. A classic pressure formation used in drone warfare. Together, they boxed her into a 12-degree corridor. She had no exit. Alex screamed into the comm, "You've got no angle, pull out!" She didn't. Instead, she nosedived, hard. Not to escape, but to flip the corridor. At 20,000 feet, she killed her speed mid-dive, letting both enemy jets overshoot, then fired upward into the corridor's ceiling. The jet above exploded in a bloom of flame. The other jerked left, clipped by debris. She spun the F-34 downward and out, an aerial U-turn so tight the G-force could have torn her bones apart. But when she leveled out, she was alone. Aerial impossibility. Alex caught up seconds later. She hovered. Not literally, but close. Her F-34 floated in the air like a dragon over water. The sky glowed faintly with the heat from broken engines and burned fuel. He tried to speak. Couldn't. "You still alive, Lieutenant?" Her voice came through. Alex let out a breathless laugh. "You just pulled a vertical stall reversal inside a thunderhead. That's impossible." She chuckled. The first sign she was even human. Most good things are. When the sky isn't enough, Alex's radar beeped again. One more bogey, fast, bigger. It wasn't a fighter. It was a drone carrier. Unmanned, loaded with 6 micro-drones ready to launch. It approached from low altitude, banking hard to intercept both of them before they could reach the safe zone. Alex panicked. "I've got no weapons left!" "You won't need them." She shifted into hyper-aggressive positioning, diving toward the drone ship head-on. "Are you?" But she was already gone. The halo shatter. It was a maneuver only spoken about in theoretical tests. A halo shatter. The jet would spin mid-dive. Not once, but 3 full rotations, disorienting heat sensors and targeting systems while faking multiple targets using mirrored flares. The enemy launched all 6 drones, too early. The F-34 spun through them like a razor, cutting through disarray. 2 drones collided mid-air, one clipped the drone carrier's tail. A feedback explosion followed. She pulled up at the last second, scraping sky with a trail of white-hot exhaust. The carrier exploded in a sphere of blue fire. Silence. "You still think I'm a ghost, Lieutenant?" she radioed calmly. Alex swallowed hard. "Ma'am, I don't know what you are." She replied, "Good, keep it that way." And then she flew ahead. 2:24 a.m. altitude, 19,000 feet. The night had grown strangely still. One final enemy aircraft remained. A stealth drone, larger than the rest, silent, AI-controlled. Its mission was different. It wasn't there to dogfight. It was there to end things. F-22 pilot Lieutenant Alex Monroe stared at the new contact on radar. It hovered at low altitude, unmoving, watching. "Something's not right," he muttered. That's when the storm started forming. A trap within a trap. From behind cloud cover, it moved, Slowly, intentionally. A passive target? No, it was a dead man's trigger. Alex's radar screamed, "Incoming missile swarm! 10 total!" But there was no lock-on. The missiles weren't targeting him directly. They were hurting. Alex shouted into comms, "They're not aiming at me! They're pushing us into a funnel! A kill funnel. Vertical drop zone, high-pressure wind shear, magnetic interference. No jet should survive it." But they were out of options. The F-34's voice came over the comm. Calm, controlled, resolute. "I'm going in first." The spiral dive. The first missile detonated overhead. She dove, straight down, into the center of the spiral kill zone. It wasn't just speed. It was spin. Her F-34 rotated vertically. 360-degree barrel spins layered over a vertical nosedive. A move so unstable it had never been successfully performed. Alex followed instinctively. His stomach churned. Blood rushed into his skull, alarms shrieked. But ahead of him, the F-34 twisted through the spiral like a leaf caught in divine wind. The missiles tried to follow. None made it. One by one, they detonated midair, confused by her shifting heat signature and impossible trajectory. The moment she disappeared, halfway through the descent, Alex lost visual. He dropped below 10,000 feet, barely holding flight integrity, and called out, "Shadow 09, do you copy? Are you alive?" Static. Then, still flying. Her voice was slower now, breathing heavy, but her tone remained steel. He saw her emerge again, climbing back up the spiral from inside, using the residual wind stream as lift. That was the moment it hit him. She wasn't escaping. She was mapping the path for him. No one flies alone. A final missile closed in. Alex saw it on her 6. "Pull out! You've got no angle!" She replied, "This is my angle." She fired a decoy drone from underwing. It deployed mid-air, heat active, mimicking her signal. The missile took the bait. Explosion. Smoke. When it cleared, she was falling. Impact or escape? Her jet dropped like a comet. Uncontrolled, engines flaring out. Alex pulled his Raptor into a sharp climb. "Shadow, eject! Now!" No response. "God damn it, please!" But then, far below, a spark. Her engines reignited mid-fall. The F-34 pulled a reverse thrust corkscrew 20 feet above ocean surface, bleeding speed into a flat glide. She was airborne again, scarred, limping, but alive. Exit corridor. The last enemy drone hesitated. One pilot damaged, the other weak. It charged. She didn't fight. She led, right into a natural radar sinkhole, a canyon between pressure cells. The enemy lost lock, lost direction. Alex watched her reverse thrust into a split-arc climb, pulling the drone behind her like a shadow, then into the sunrise corridor. And just like that, the drone vanished into the magnetic storm. Final words. Alex hovered at safe altitude. His voice cracked. "Why? Why would you risk that? You don't even know me." Long pause. "Then, because someone once did the same for me. Then, you go home, I'll disappear again." Alex opened his mouth, but she was already gone. 2:41 a.m. Altitude, 11,000 feet. Location, radar dead zone, the ghost corridor. The night was calm now. Too calm. Lieutenant Alex Monroe flew at a steady clip through the upper troposphere, his F-22 barely holding formation with the battered F-34 beside him. Both jets trailed thin ribbons of smoke. The sky above them was a soft violet haze. Morning wasn't far off. But radar still showed nothing. No hostiles, no friendlies, no her. She'd gone dark again. The corridor. The F-34 appeared once more on his left wing, but only visually. No signal, no transponder. He tapped the comms. "Phantom, do you read? You're flying with no radar, no IFF." A pause, then. "That's the point. Where we're going, radar doesn't matter." He blinked. Where are we going? Her answer came slow. Through the ghost corridor. Alex had heard the rumors. A stretch of contested airspace where even satellites refused to scan. Magnetic interference, vertical wind shears, terrain turbulence, a Bermuda Triangle for aircraft. No official flight plan ever crossed it. But she was. The path, home or nowhere. They banked low. The sky darkened again as clouds gathered. The corridor looked like a scar in the air. Long, black, and strangely still. Alex flew side by side with her. Her canopy remained dark, reflective, no visual on the pilot. He tried again. Phantom, why do you fly like that? Why stay hidden all these years? Her voice was quieter now, almost reluctant. Because some missions never end. They just go silent. He looked toward her, but she didn't turn. Who are you really? No reply. Just someone who learned the cost of being remembered. Enemy echo. Just as they neared the exit vector of the corridor, Alex's console glitched. Then a ping. A single bogey. Fast. No ID. It was tracking from behind. Alex prepared to engage. Brake left, I'll handle it, he called out. But her voice came back instantly. Negative. You stay on course. Damn it, I can fight. No, Lieutenant. This one's for the ghosts. Vanishing point. She climbed hard and veered off into the clouds. Alex tracked her path, then lost it completely. A flash of light bloomed behind the cloud curtain. Then, nothing. No sound. No impact. No signal. The bogey vanished too. All that remained was empty sky. Re-entry. 5 minutes later, Alex crossed into home airspace. Towers hailed him. Reaper 2-1, you're way off course. Are you injured? Did you eject? His voice cracked. Negative. I'm flying solo, but I wasn't alone. He landed without incident. Ground crews swarmed the battered F-22. No sign of any support aircraft. No flight log. No radar contact with any F-34. Back at base. Later, in the debriefing room, a general pulled him aside. You said someone flew you through the corridor. Alex nodded. F-34. Female pilot. Call sign was Shadow or Phantom, I don't know. The general went pale. He pulled a black and white photograph from a drawer. A woman in flight gear. No name. Was it her? Alex stared. Yeah, that's her. The general locked the drawer. She died 12 years ago. Mission sealed under presidential order. Ghosts in the hull. That night, Alex walked the hall of the fallen rows of portraits, plaques, and medals, honoring those whose service ended in silence. In the last frame, a new photo had been added. No name. No date. Just the image of a phoenix with wings of fire. He whispered, Thank you, whoever you were. Outside, the wind howled past the hangars. Far above the clouds, somewhere, a ghost flew on. Base airfield, sunrise. The hangar was silent. Only the low hum of early morning wind disturbed the stillness, sweeping across the runway where Lieutenant Alex Monroe stood, still in flight gear. He hadn't slept, not since the mission, not since her. The F-22 sat nearby, patched and soot-stained, a warbird that had survived what no system said it should have. He looked up, scanning the empty sky. Still no sign of her. The debrief. They questioned him for hours. His account didn't match radar logs, no flight path filed, no support aircraft recorded. His F-22 had crossed into a known no-fly zone and returned alone. His explanation? Someone was watching. Someone who flies where no one else dares. The room went quiet when he said her call sign, Phantom. A colonel leaned forward. That's a ghost story, son. Alex stared back. Then how did I come back? The wall. 2 days later, Alex visited the memorial wall. A sleek stretch of black granite engraved with the names of the fallen, those who never returned. No ceremonies, no bodies, just dates and silence. At the very end, a name had been etched years ago. Major Nya Jameson, Phantom 09. No birth date, no death. Just a quote. Real pilots don't wait for parades. They wait for the moment no one else sees coming. Alex traced the letters with one gloved hand. He whispered, "She's still out there." The promotion. At the weekly ceremony, General Carter called him to the stage. Lieutenant Monroe demonstrated the kind of decision-making that saves lives, but he also reminded us of something we forget in modern warfare. He paused. That some heroes don't need medals. The crowd stood in silence. Later that week, in the back corner of the base chapel, a small brass box appeared. Inside was a flight patch, black and silver, embroidered with a phoenix wrapped around a number, 09. No one claimed it. No one knew who left it. Alex took it to his locker and pinned it to the inside lining of his flight jacket. Some things didn't need to be explained. A new mission. Weeks passed. One day, a young cadet approached Alex in the hangar. "Sir, is it true? The Phantom saved you?" Alex turned slowly, saw the look in her eyes, that mixture of fear and hope. He nodded. "Yeah, she did." The cadet hesitated. "Do you think she'd ever come back?" Alex looked up to the horizon, then answered, "Not for us. Only for the ones who need her most." The sky never forgets. Somewhere over a forgotten ocean, in a corridor satellites still refuse to map, a single contrail arcs across the morning haze. No radar sees it. No flight plan logs it. But if you listen closely, you might hear her engines roar. And if you ever find yourself flying alone with no way out, maybe, just maybe, she'll be watching. Because the best pilots don't just fight for country, they fly for the shadows. Sometimes, the most powerful heroes are the ones we never see. In a world obsessed with visibility, with awards, attention, recognition, this story reminds us that true greatness often lives in silence. The Phantom pilot didn't return for praise. She didn't land for applause. She didn't even share her name. She returned to protect, not to be remembered. In our own lives, we might never fly fighter jets or break the sound barrier, but we each face battles, internal ones, private ones. And maybe, like her, we've walked through storms that no one ever knew about. And that's the beauty of it. Service isn't about being known. It's about showing up when it matters, even if no one ever finds out. Her return was never about glory. It was about honor, about finishing the job, about making sure someone else could fly home, even if she couldn't. How many people around us carry that same quiet strength? The single mom working 2 jobs. The older brother who gave up school for family. The veteran who never talks about what they saw. The friend who checks in, even when they're hurting too. We call them shadows, but really, they're the ones who keep our skies clear. So the next time you feel unseen, unheard, or forgotten, remember, some of the greatest legends were never meant to be famous. They were just meant to protect. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that not all heroes wear medals, then do one thing right now. Like this video so more people can hear it. Comment below, do you think she's still out there, watching from the clouds? And don't forget to subscribe to Life Moral Tales, because tomorrow's story, it might just change how you see everything. And if you've ever felt like your sacrifices go unseen, remember, you're not invisible. You're invaluable. New legends are rising. And the shadows? They're filled with people just like you, quietly saving the world one moment at a time.